Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. I have two 80 proof Kentucky bourbon whiskeys from Heaven Hill with no age statement nor a website listing. So if you look on heavenhill.com, their company website, they'll list Henry McKenna, but not this one. Just the Henry McKenna 10-year age, I think it is. This is the standard Henry McKenna. And if you get on the Henry McKenna website, they don't list this bottle. They must be proud of it. It says established 1855. Sour mash. So it's sour mash Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. Straight bourbon means what? It's aged at least 2 years. And all the whiskey must come from the same state, Kentucky. All right. But this has no age statement, which means it's aged at least 4 years. So this is 2 years longer than, like they used to say on the Jim Beam commercials, 2 years longer than the requirement. What did the girl used to say? 4 long years. James P. Madonna said she looked like she was on drugs. Today's Henry McKenna still satisfies those looking for a real whiskey with real history. And they talk about Henry McKenna, who arrived from Ireland in 1837 and so forth. All right. But he wasn't in Ireland, so he didn't make Irish whiskey. He made bourbon whiskey. All right. Now we have an oddball product. It's Royal. Didn't know Kentucky had a king, but apparently they do. Royal. And it's Royal Blue. I thought it was black at first. It was Royal Blue, Kentucky bourbon whiskey with natural flavors. And it says on the crown, finest quality. Finest quality. It says bottled by Kentucky Distilling Company, Bardstown, Kentucky. Okay. And this one says bottled by the H. McKenna Distillery, Bardstown, Kentucky. Boy, there must be hundreds of distilleries in just one town. But it isn't so. There are hundreds of alias names for 2 distilleries in Bardstown, which is the Barton 1792 distillery owned by the Sazerac Company. And I took a tour there when they used to give tours, and it was really nice. And there's the Henry Hill. Yeah. Oh, Henry boy, the pipes are calling. I mean, the Heaven Hill Distillery in Bardstown, Kentucky. I don't think they really give tours there. If you look at their website, they call it the Heaven Hill Experience. It's sort of like an interactive museum, like the Sazerac House in New Orleans. Well, Sazerac House actually has a distillery at the bottom floor, but I didn't want to go on some experience. You know what I mean? I know what that's like, and I wanted to see the actual distillery operation. So I wasn't going to actually have to pay money to just hear somebody say, you know, a tour guide, and then they have a gift shop, and then there's a little section about these are the grains. You know, these are what stills look like. No, I didn't want to experience that. Okay, let's go with the comments. Liam Gillespie says Henry McKenna is one of my favorite bourbons. Have had it in a while. Do you mean you haven't had it in a while? Jay Crizzle says, yeah, I haven't had McKenna in forever. It was really good from what I remember. Never had Royal. I never heard of Royal until I found it at that little liquor store in Houston, Texas. And if anybody needs to know where that is, I can let you know. Easy to find, right close to the Interstate 10. Morning, Jay, on my second cup of coffee and making omelets and bacon, says Liam. I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and but I had 3 cups of coffee. Yes, coffee and chicory. I got a great deal on some coffee and chicory. So yeah. All right. Who's going to win? Oh, price point. $9.99 these days. No, retraction. $9.49 because I know where to get it for $9.49. Total Wine and More. $9.49 for Henry McKenna. $7.99 for Royal. You say that's cheap. Well, wait, yeah, we know that. That goes without saying. But then the next comment is going to be what? It's going to be terrible. Well, you don't know that because you never had it. I know people wouldn't touch this just because of the price point. And they just would say, oh, no. My attitude would be, well, you never had it, you know. My friend David thought Henry McKenna was good, but he wasn't totally thrilled with it. He did buy a bottle, but he didn't repurchase it. But hey, that's cool too, because like I always say, call it as you see it. If you try it and you don't care for it, okay, fine, you tried it. He'll tell me sometimes, you're pressuring me to give us a higher score. I said, no, I'm not. I'm just curious. You know, I'll be curious. Why did you give that score? You know, that's all. I don't care what score you give it. I saw a guy buying a bottle of whiskey yesterday for $89. Not saying he got ripped off either. He might have gotten a good deal. It was Van Winkle, 12-year aged. Van Winkle, 12-year. I saw that. I was holding the bottle. He let me hold it. Then he smiled. I said, I don't see that in the stores. Yeah. So he was getting it for a wedding. I can't recall whose wedding he was talking about. I think he said his daughter's wedding, but he might have said something. I don't know. It doesn't matter. He was buying it for a wedding. He said, 89's not bad, not bad. And I'm thinking, well, how come everybody else can't get Van Winkle 12-year, you know? Oh, well, this guy works for a distributor. Oh, yep, some Liquor 43 in there. Liquor 43. I heard of that stuff. That comes kind of like a funny shaped bottle? Jameson and coffee is a great combo. Huh, never had it. I did Brady's Irish Liquor. Brady's Irish Cream Liqueurs. Sorry, Brady's Irish Cream Liqueur in my second cup of coffee. It was good. You know, it gets a little old after a while putting that in because like it's too much sugar. But because I usually only put sugar in my first cup of coffee. Then the next two, I just put cream, well, meaning milk, and just got finished mopping the bar about an hour ago. Just got home, laughing out loud. Jay Crizzle. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you're watching, everybody. Appearance. Okay. Oh, they're about the same. Amber gold. Now remember, the Henry McKenna is sour mash Kentucky straight bourbon. Okay, so it's straight sour mash bourbon, Kentucky. This other thing here, Royal, is just Kentucky bourbon. Doesn't say straight. You say, well, that means it's not even aged 2 years. That could be the case, but there's a problem with that case. It can't be so because there's no age statement on the bottle. And by law, if it has no age statement, then it has to be at least 4 years old. So how come it's not straight bourbon then? It's aged at least 2 years. It says Kentucky bourbon, which means it all comes from Kentucky. You say, no, they don't use charred oak. No, they have to use charred oak to be bourbon. So they're both using charred oak barrels. New, has to be new charred oak too. Has to be new, can't be used. It wouldn't be able to put the name bourbon on the bottle. So what is the problem? Oh, it says bourbon with natural flavors. There's your tip off. Kentucky straight bourbon, well, doesn't matter what state it comes from. Straight bourbon cannot have flavors or colors added. No flavors, no coloring added. You know, can't add caramel color and make it look darker. Not gonna happen. Blended bourbon, yeah, it's allowed. Okay. And they don't even have to disclose it. Well, at least Heaven Hill was nice enough to tell us it was with natural flavors. What those flavors are, I do not know. Although I have some good ideas, but I don't know if they're right. So then they would be bad ideas. But I think they're pretty good guesses, like vanilla extract and whatnot. All right, well, let's go with the taste. Cheers. Should have smelt it too, huh? Nah, they smell like wood. You know, when you smell them, they smell like wood with a little corn. Yeah. It's always the same thing. The taste. Well, this is very vanilla-ish. It's like, woof. I don't have to close my eyes. They're the same shade of gold. I mixed them up well enough. I don't know why I got my eyes closed. Maybe I'm sleepy. Vanilla. Oh, corn, sweet corn, vanilla. Maybe some pecan oil. I don't know. Okay, just say natural flavors. You see, if they don't specify, it could be anything. Now, if it was to say natural vanilla flavoring, oh, well, then it has to come from vanilla. There's no option there. It has to be a vanilla derived substance. I had a guy at work I was working with. He was telling me I was wrong. I was wrong. He said, I'm into the science world. And I said, well, I'm not wrong. I said, I can show you what I'm talking about with the FDA statements and all. And then he was trying to say, well, those don't mean anything. I said, what? Okay. When you start dealing with that kind of attitude, then you have to assume that none of the regulations mean anything, right? But I just didn't go down that road with him. I didn't feel like arguing with people. It's like, you know, if you were arguing, talking to somebody about Pearl Harbor, and they were saying, well, you know, Hawaii's not really an island. It's part of the United States. They just tell us it's islands. It's really a long peninsula. Then you just stop talking and say, okay, well, I got to get back to planet Earth now, because you know you're dealing with insanity. You know that kind of you get those kind of arguments with people with history and government and those kind of things. You know, and they don't have any kind of basis for it. You know, well, that Pope, he was a Freemason. You know that? I said, no, I don't know that. How do you know that? Well, I read it somewhere. Oh, well, you read it somewhere. Which comic book was it? Okay. Now this one does not taste like a vanilla rush. It tastes like oak rush. Oak, charred oak, and not too much char. Some people are into bourbon. They got to have that deep char. I got to have that char. Now, I like that too now. Don't get me wrong. But some people just got to have that. You're not going to have it here. So it ain't going to happen here. It's just going to be wood, a little mild corn, not so much sweet corn, not so much like candy corn or rock candy, like I say with some of these more garish products. But then that was really those blended whiskeys I was dealing with the last 2 weeks, wasn't it? So my initial feeling is that I think the one to the left, this is the Royal, and I think the one to the right is the Henry McKenna, but I'm not too sure. Hold on, the cat's calling for me, knocking on the door. True story. Hold on. I taught her how to ring a doorbell to come in the house, but she can't really get it right. She more like bangs the bell because it's hanging from a wire. She bangs the bell against the house so I can hear her ding, 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 ding. But she doesn't understand how to like shake it. But she doesn't have a thumb and a finger. You know, like ting-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Sometimes when she bangs it, it'll ring a little bit, but she can't really get it right. Like just to tap it where it rings. So I'll just hear this knocking. But she learned in one lesson. I showed her. I said, when you want to come inside, you ring this bell, and then I'll come get you. And she's watching with her head cocked. I'm like, no cat's gonna understand that, you know. 2 hours later, ding, ding. She got it first time ringing it. And then she started just banging it against the wall. All right. Oh, yeah, comments. Before we run out of time here, because I got to go watch the news. I meant to say news. I enjoyed the Trader Joe's Tennessee bourbon whiskey I bought last year. Great value. Yeah, I saw that just Thursday. I was at Trader Joe's Thursday. I didn't buy it because they got more than one. Yeah, they got like 3 different Trader Joe's bourbons. They sure do. But I got so much bourbon backstock right now. I just can't buy. Knob Creek Rye is one I need to try. Me too. I never even tried regular Knob Creek. Dude, Tennessee has Dickel. I really like George Dickel. Jay, are you dead on the natural flavor stuff? You are dead on the natural flavor stuff. Oh, I know I am because I read the regulations. Jay is the most in-depth reviewer on YouTube. He's a true connoisseur. Thank you, Liam. That money I paid Liam money to say that, and I appreciate. See, sometimes it's like Henry the Fourth said, Paris is worth a mass, and I'm saying the positive comments is worth the money. Just kidding. I didn't pay him. You say, oh no, you said it, so we know you're just trying to backtrack. You did pay. Yeah, okay. Word. I won't try a beer or whiskey if Jay doesn't give the green light. Oh well, let's not be fanatics because I might like something that you hate, and I might hate something you like. Knob Creek is great. I do want to try. Yeah. Have you ever had Bullet bourbon? That's normally my go-to. This is Brandon Gamez. No, I haven't. See it everywhere. It's in the orange label. But I bought some Bullet rye. Hadn't tried it. It's coming up. Bullet or Bullet. I think that's some kind of French word. It's probably bouillet. It's probably the real pronunciation, bouillet. All right. Yeah, it's like vanilla, oak, corn, sweet corn. Starting to bring in some more flavors as it breathes. I wouldn't say extraordinary flavors by any stretch, but it's pleasant. I don't know why they feel the need to add natural flavors. Sazerac told me why on the phone. That their representative said, well, about 5 years ago, they decided to add natural flavor into all their, what do you call it? I think he called it low end. Actually, I would use the term like value priced. Low end doesn't sound so good, but that's what he said. Products, because he said it helps smooth them out, like take off some of that bad bite. I said, oh, okay. He said, but I don't know what the flavorings are because it's a secret. They won't tell you. He said, but my guess, he worked for Sazerac. He said, my guess is that it's vanilla, probably more than that. But he said, I don't know, it tastes like vanilla to me, but I don't. He said, I really don't know. And plus, natural flavors could be other liquors. You see what I'm saying? Like you could add rum to the blended bourbon to give it the, like that sugar flavor, because rum is a natural flavor because it's natural. See, rum is not artificial. So, so really strange way to do it. I've always enjoyed watching a review. It inspires me to try it myself. Well, I appreciate that. Maxwell says, hello, Ron. Peace to you, Maxwell. In the Russian Federation. Jameson is my go-to whiskey, says Liam. That's pretty much everybody's go-to Irish whiskey, at least. Oh, yeah, Jameson is not in the top tier for nothing. It's up there. It's big time. Why? Now, you know, the negative people say, it's all marketing. It's all marketing. It's like Budweiser. It's trash. But it's not all marketing. You don't think millions of people around the world drink Jameson every day because they hate it, do you? You think that's what happens? They say, oh, the television commercial, it just made me feel so important. I used to drink Slain a lot. Yeah, I'd like to try Slain, Slaine. But I don't have any yet. All right, time to get down to it. Now, here's a man that wants to get down to it. Looking to get down to it, are you? Okay. Whatever. That's got to be the blended. I mean, the royal, which I think is blended because it can't be straight. Because it wouldn't be able to have the coloring and the flavors. It's fine. I mean, I always watch these video reviews and the people would be bragging about the bourbon or even sometimes Scotch, talking about, oh, the vanilla, this go on and on. Vanilla. Well, here you go. Now you say, but they're cheating. They're adding vanilla. Yeah, well, what do you expect for $7.99? All right. But it's good. I like it. I give it a good score. I got a video coming, a solo review coming. Yeah. So I think, well, I better take another taste of this other one. Yeah. But I do want to try that Bouillet straight bourbon or Bullet. Yeah, this has got too much wood. It's got to be a sour mash because you can taste that sourdough bagel. It's got that sourdough bagel flavor. Okay, Orangey, wait. Not my cat, just a feral cat that hangs around here like it's the cat's home or something, you know. So I'm going to say this is Henry McKenna. Well, if I'm wrong, I'm going to feel funny about it. It is, though. It is. So I use those markers. I call them markers or signposts. Yeah, I'm a 32nd degree. Those signposts, because that's what you want to use to help guide you to the correct answer. Doesn't always work. But that vanilla thing going on over here, it might be good with vanilla ice cream or chocolate ice cream. I'm not kidding about that. Yeah, but I'm not going to do it. But that's giving away. And this one's got that wood, that sour mash. You can tell it's straight whiskey. Straight whiskey's not playing games with all this flim flam, you see. So it's more pure, like they say on the thing, a pure whiskey. And there it is. That's what you want to get. And what are you paying? $1.50 more? Yes. Actually, $1.51, $1.51 more. So the winner is Henry McKenna. Pay $1.50 more and get a better product. But I'm not saying that the Royal is bad. It isn't bad, especially if you like vanilla. But it's, it's not really pure, But since you're about to head out, I have a Merry Christmas. Oh, have a Merry Christmas, says Brandon. I'm in the Air Force and we're working 12s all next week. Oh, I'm sorry about that. But you have a Merry Christmas too. Bullet Rise, fantastic. Thank you, Liam. I intend to try. I'm going to watch the news. Bye, everybody.